Hello and welcome to Out and About Art, your PGTV source for all things art in Polk County. I'm your host, Yasmin Ali. Did you know that this month marks the 100th anniversary of the city of Frostproof? Among the many events planned for this momentous occasion is an arts and photography show called Frostproof Remembered, hosted by Florida Wildflower Studios. Florida Wildflower Studios is a community-oriented working art studio and gallery founded by Jackie Palomaki and Chip Newton, who previously formed Jackie's Art Cafe in Haines City. Check this out to learn more about Jackie and Chip's latest venture, as well as the Frostproof Remembered art show.
My partner and I, Chip Newton, we had a cafe up in Haines City, and it was a nice little cafe that we had art and music and fresh foods, and we were there for 5 years. We got a little tired, so we decided to come down to this space here because there was an opportunity for it. Chip's friend owns the building, and so she told us that it was available, and so Chip thought it might be a good opportunity for us to continue with our artistic talents and get away from all the hubbub of cooking every day and cleaning and ongoing that kind of thing every day. So this afforded us the opportunity to bring arts to the community, and we were just really excited. And so it took us a while to get it up and going and ready, and here we are. We offer classes in acrylic. We have some fun pouring classes. We have some artists that come in and do some demonstrations for watercolor. And we have a artist here named Mac McMillan who does a lot of still life classes and drawing classes and some painting classes as well. So we just have a lot of fun. We also have a members art gallery, so they can hang their work, and they can also offer it for sale. So, and then we have a featured gray gallery, which we feature artists every month or so, and that's usually an artist around the community or even as far as Land O'Lakes or Miami. Frostproof is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. So in light of that, they've gathered some activities throughout the whole town on the weekend of Labor Day weekend this year. And so we thought it would be fun to do an art contest and photography with the subject matter of Frostproof's history, looking back. So the name of the contest is Frostproof Remembered. So we've invited artists to enter something in that has something to do with Frostproof before. So the whole idea of the contest was to get folks interested in the history of Frostproof. My partner Chip and I both appreciate the history of Florida as it goes, but Frostproof, it's an opportunity to, look at your own community and discover some things about it that maybe you didn't know. Talk to some people, start conversations, go visit the History Center, and it's just a way to continue with the history, in an artful way.
There's so much history in this area. In fact, some of the buildings, the structures that were here 100 years ago are still here. That's golden opportunities for an artist to latch onto something and to learn something about the area and how people lived back then. This street right out in front of us was a dirt road back then, a little bitty narrow dirt trail, and it had wooden buildings would pop up and disappear, and another wooden building would pop up. We've got photographs of a lot of those. A lot of early history of Frostproof was photographed. A lot of it by A.L. Jaquist, for whom our photography contest for the centennial is named, and sponsored by his family. Frostproof is spectacular in that you can walk this direction, and you can be in acres and acres of unruined, undeveloped land. Go that direction, go that direction, go that direction, and you've got history. You've got old houses and older still it can't be called virgin land anymore because Florida was timbered out a little over 100 years ago. But there's a lot of history here. It's not important to some people. To some people, it's important to get rid of it and build some new houses, an apartment complex. But to some of us, it's real important.
I heard about the contest through Chip and Jackie for their beautiful gallery here. I'm also a member, and Chip encouraged me to do something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's what I did. I was born and raised in Frostproof. I actually live in the house I was born in. My mother had a beauty shop right in this building, here in this arcade, for 30 years. And that's how I always went to the Raymond Theater. My mother encouraged us, with the arts and theater. So, yes, I love Frostproof. Of course, I've been here all my life. I've moved away a few times, but I always come back. I've been a photographer since I was a small child. My father loved photography, and he's really the one that got me interested in it many years ago. And I've tried to continue it. I'm not a professional, but I do just enjoy it. And a lot of my friends get really annoyed because I take so many pictures, but that's what I enjoy. That's my passion. I love photography. Yes, that picture is called Keys to the Raymond. That is the original piano in the Raymond Theater here in Frostproof. It was built in 1925, and that is the actual piano from 1925. And I just adore that piano because I know I can remember the vaudeville and all the things the memories with that of the Raymond Theater, because I love the Raymond Theater. I'm a board member there also. But that picture means so much to me because I can see all the memories of the people that played that piano. And it's just a beautiful picture. And it is black and white, a little more vintage, like how you would remember something. But it's very near and dear to my heart. When I was a young child, we would play at the play park, and the play park's right across the street from the Methodist church. This was the only church in town that had lights in the window. And when we were children, we would play there, and we would sit on the curb and wait till those lights came on because they were on a timer. And we'd wait every day, oh, can't wait till the lights come on. It was so exciting to us, and we just were so privileged to have such a beautiful place in Frostproof. And so many of us, we would okay, what time do you think the lights are going to come on? Well, I don't know, what time do you think? Well, I always knew what time they were going to come on. So I always won the contest. But my mom would come by and say, come on, let's go. And I'd say, no, I want to stay till the lights come on. Because that was just magnificent to us as children. Because most of the churches at that time were very small. We didn't even have air conditioning, much less lights. So we loved that. So that was a very fond childhood memory to me, and that's why I took that photograph. People can learn so much from just this small gallery, because we have beautiful pictures. We have such talented artists in Frostproof, and we welcome everyone. We hope everyone will come and see. If you haven't been to Frostproof, you really have missed it. A lot of people don't think so, but you really have, and it's a beautiful place. And we encourage you to come and see Chip and Jackie, and come see our artwork.
We're very appreciative of the support that we have for the show, and we have a sponsorship which we're really thankful for, and that is the Patricia Maxey Wilson Memorial Art Award, sponsored by the Maxey Foundation, and also the A.L. Jaquess Memorial Photography Award, which is sponsored by the W.A. Jaquess Inc. and family. So those are local, longtime, historic families from the town that are stepping in, to support the arts and photography.
All of the feedback's been positive in the sense that people are glad that the facility remains sort of the Art League, and they can come in and use it like the Art League, have a place to paint, a place to meet other like-minded people. And one of the things that we're grateful about in the cafe that we had in Haines City was that people came in and said they got a good feeling being there, that it was a calm and peaceful place. And we're hearing that about this place too.
Well, I'll tell you what, getting on the road to go to Frostproof, it's like going on a Sunday drive. It's really nice. It's a lot different from going other places. It's not all busy in the traffic, with the traffic and everything. So it's actually a really beautiful drive, especially if they take the scenic highway route, coming through the rolling hills of orange groves and in that. So it's really lovely, lovely ride. So come on down and come to the show, and we'll have a nice little party on the 1st with some live music and a good time.
Frostproof Remembered will be on display through September 20th. Check out the artwork in person at 12 East Wall Street in Frostproof. And while you're there, you can learn about the various classes and workshops that Florida Wildflower Studios has to offer. Follow them on Facebook or visit www.floridawildflowerstudios.com. And now for our Artist Spotlight from the Arts Ensemble Education Foundation. The Arts Ensemble Education Foundation is an arts incubator and provides resident art programs that promote and support local artists, youth arts education for at-risk children, and healing arts in collaboration with existing health and wellness agencies. One of their newest resident artists was born and raised in Lake Wales and describes her style as steampunk-influenced. Here's a look at Connie Combs.
I've always wanted to do the art. Putting myself out there took a lot of encouragement and from everybody. It was very scary to put my work out in front of people because it was a piece of me. It was basically my soul that I was exposing. And it was nerve-wracking to put that out there and have people look at it, judge it. But once I did, it was really rewarding. I found that not as many people found it as unusual, or they actually liked the work. And if they didn't, it still got a reaction, and that was what I was going for. Whether you love it or you hate it, it got a reaction from somebody. I've been in art pretty much my whole life. I've always had an interest in it, and I've been very fortunate. I have a family that's always supported it and encouraged it and made sure I had lessons and supplies, never boxed me into a certain style or told me it was wrong. So for me, I'm one of the few that's been very lucky to have a supportive family that has encouraged it my entire life. I went probably about 15 years ago. I started going a lot more professional, doing art shows, going into some of the galleries, showing pieces. In my art style, there's a lot of recycled objects, so it's a lot of mixed media sculpture. It just really kind of depends on what's available at the time. There was one point that I did almost all steel sculptures because I had scrap steel available to me. Right now, I'm doing a lot of mannequin sculptures because they were available to me. So whatever it becomes available and inspires me, that's what I'll work with. But I really do want to encourage people to use items that would be thrown away and recycle them up, give them a new life, turn them into art. It's kind of just allowing yourself to let your imagination to see what else potential that item has. It's not necessarily stuck in the box that it was made to be. It can be something else, and that's part of the pleasure of taking a recycled item and upcycling it into a piece of artwork that looks nothing like it did before, because I want to leave just enough of its original form so people know that's what it started out as and how it's changed. And it's hard to describe how you do just see it. It just seems to just be there, And what I'll be working with a little bit is gears. There's a lot of gears, watch parts. I lean to a steampunk type of style, which the recycled work really, really well with. I love industrial style, so I always try and incorporate a little bit of metal, a little bit of machinery into almost anything that I do. And so for me, I love to get those parts and that you never see. They're buried in the machine. You never see what makes something work, what makes it click. So it's neat to take it when it's broken and make it work again in something else. Yard sales are a pretty great place to pick stuff up. And once they realize what you're doing with it, a lot of times they'll just give it to you. Or they'll reduce the amount to it's almost free. My mannequins, they're all recycled. So they came from a woman who's in her 80s that used to be a store display company. And she had hundreds of these mannequins, and she had a yard sale. So her sheds were full of mannequins. If you can imagine walking in and just seeing all these faces and body parts staring at you in these sheds that are dark and barely lit, is kind of eerie, but it was really exciting. So I think I walked away from there with like 6 mannequins the first time I met her. I try and take a look at the mannequin's actual face and their body structure, how they're standing, their posture, and that tells me a little bit about the personality of that mannequin. So it helps me decide what I want them to become, to envision. So I have one that is a very standoffish character. It's got a very pouty face, the arms are crossed, it's very defensive. So I'm actually turning that into a cactus because it's a no-touch type of person. And so I'm just taking what he is telling the world with his body language and making it a visual. I felt very honored, I still feel very honored to be a resident artist in this studio above most any others. I love the women that I work with. They are incredibly encouraging. There's not a competition, there's a lot of building each other up, and it's a great group to be with, and they actually, I find myself feeding my imagination just how I have in conversations with the other resident artists that I work with. So we may just sit down and get in a conversation, and before I know it, I've got 10 new ideas that I can't wait to get started on. So it's very helpful for that creative feed to be around other artists, and having the ability to be a resident artist here makes that much, much easier than going home and working in a shop by myself and not having other people to feed ideas and new techniques and medias and mediums.
The Arts Ensemble Education Foundation is located at 230 Avenue C Southeast in Winter Haven. For more information on gallery hours, upcoming exhibits, and their other resident artists, visit them at www.artsensemble.org. You can also follow them on Facebook at Arts Ensemble Winter Haven. Florida Dance Theater is celebrating their 25th anniversary. Their 2018-2019 season launches with an ambitious performance of Peter Pan, complete with a live orchestra. This will be the first full-length collaboration between the Florida Dance Theater and the Imperial Symphony Orchestra. Check this out to learn more about the production as well as the upcoming seasons of the ISO and Florida Dance Theater.
This season is going to be really exciting. It's our 25th anniversary. So our season opener is a collaboration with the Imperial Symphony, and it's Peter Pan. There's so many moving parts in this production, just beyond the usual music and dance elements. You also have more sets involved and flying aspects, so it's going to be a really, really exciting way to see how all the pieces come together. After Peter Pan, we also have our annual Nutcracker, our Fit and Fierce Festival. In March, we actually are going to be, this is the first time we're doing this, we're going to have a Young Emerging Choreographers showcase. So we're inviting young choreographers, emerging choreographers, professional choreographers to come on out, to submit their work and to share, to network. We may even have some more master classes involved by these guest artists from wherever they may come from, just to really expose Polk County and the surrounding areas, to the diversity that we have here. That's such a hidden treasure here that a lot of people don't know about. So it's a real busy season. We have all little things popping up here and there. So it's going to be a great, great season.
The 2018-2019 season for the Imperial Symphony Orchestra is one that will be full of excitement because we are starting with the only symphonic show for Lakeland band Copeland. There's a local rock band that has a huge following, and we're excited to be able to do their symphonic show. They have a very melodic style of music anyway, so it's a perfect fit. And we've got 3 traditional masterworks, a holiday show, as well as a West Side Story in concert. And then on top of all of that, the opportunity to produce Peter Pan in concert with Florida Dance Theater just fit right into the plans that we had. We of course have a great working relationship with Florida Dance Theater. They help us out in our opera, and last season folks may remember that they choreographed a very special ballet, Tom Sawyer's Story, to Aaron Copland's Appalachian Spring, which was beautiful as part of our Masterworks series for the year. So carrying it over to a full-length ballet with live orchestra is really just taking both of our organizations to the next level, and really will be an exciting time not only for our organizations but for the audience as well. It'll be a unique experience here in Lakeland.
Well, Peter Pan, that idea was actually Carol, our founding director's idea. I know she was in talks with Amy Wiggins and some of the directors over at the Imperial Symphony about a great family-friendly oriented production that we both can collaborate and share on, that we believe that the community would love and enjoy. And Peter Pan was the one that came up. So it's been a real amazing process.
This is my 3rd season as the resident choreographer for Florida Dance Theater. And this is going to be my first completely independent full-length production I've done. I've been really, really excited for this show. I love the story of Peter Pan. So being able to work in collaboration with so many partners on this show has been fantastic. Working with the Imperial Symphony, having a live orchestra play with us for the very first time for a full-length production is very, very exciting. And another partnership I'm really excited for this year is we actually have the students of the Harrison School of the Arts Tech Department designing our sets.
This is a special show because anytime that live dance and live music are combined, or we do this with our opera regularly, live voice and live instrumentation, it creates a special challenge because the orchestra itself is actually in the pit. So the orchestra members can't see what's happening on the stage. Only the conductor can see what's happening on the stage. So the whole thing, from the tempo to the music, has to be very carefully choreographed, both in the pit and on stage. So it's unique in that it requires a little bit of extra math for timing, and especially because Peter Pan will fly. We have to calculate the aerial time in, so there's some unique challenges that come with the production aspect of it that are different for the orchestra, for sure.
This is a kind of a unique ballet in that I've seen many versions on YouTube, and the music's never the same. Some music was actually specifically written for a particular production. Our music is actually pieces drawn from the standard orchestral repertoire. It includes works by the composers Debussy, Ravel, Dvorak, Dittersdorf. So there's about probably 17, 18 different musical numbers in this one. And it was actually selected by the choreographer in this case, Stefan Dolbashian.
The symphony left me with a lot of liberties, which I was really excited for. They gave me a very wide list of composers and things that we could get the rights to. So I had a plethora of music in front of me. But I was really very moved by all the impressionist composers that are out there. So a lot of Ravel and a lot of Debussy was really what I was sticking with. The music of it really fit the Neverland vibe, you know, it really had that fantasy book feel to it. So when I heard that first piece of music by Ravel that I started called Le Tambour de Couperin, that was my starting point. And so working with a little bit of Ravel and exploring all of his works, and then researching composers that were around the same time as him and that he was influenced by and that were influenced by him. I tried to stick with that genre of musicians.
The Tuesday, the orchestra will have its first rehearsal on Tuesday before the show on Saturday. They'll get their music beforehand, so it's up to them to prepare it as much as they can, and then we'll get together for 2 orchestral rehearsals, then 2 dress rehearsals with the ballet company, and then the show on Saturday evening.
We tried to keep our story as true to the original. I love every variation of it, all the films, the musical, the book, the play, and there's so many little differences in each one that I kind of wanted to borrow from every story, so there's something familiar for everyone who's familiar with one aspect of the story or another, and kind of try to adapt all those into one solid storyline. So there's definitely going to be a couple little changes, a couple little new surprises that we wanted to add in, make the story a little bit more fun, have a few more unexpected moments. But you're definitely going to still get your classic Peter Pan that you're looking for sure. This is a bit of a different approach for us normally because we're such a concert dance based company. We do a lot of contemporary abstract pieces, sometimes with meaning, sometimes without, sometimes left to interpretation. So having a more set narrative is definitely something different for us, and I love it because it's really forcing the dancers to find new aspects of themselves. Choreography is definitely difficult. I didn't want to dumb down the choreography, especially for the kids. I wanted them to really rise up to the high standard that we're trying to have for this show. The story of Peter Pan is full of so much action and adventure that it really lends itself to extremely big athletic choreography. So we have at least 3 or 4 fight scenes that are going to be full of action-packed moments, and because we do have people flying in the show, we have people flying over each other, giant air battles. It's going to be all kinds of action-packed, high-intensity tricks. I'm really, really excited for this. I think there's definitely something in it for everyone. Even if you're not a usual dance appreciator, there's definitely a lot of great moments for anyone. Action, comedy, romance, we got it all in this show.
I can't think of a better show than Peter Pan. It reminds us all of our childhood and how important imagination is, and how important friendships are. And it is a show that the entire family will enjoy, and I can't imagine that anyone would leave feeling anything other than thrilled. So I am beyond excited to be in the audience for this show, and I hope that everyone in Polk County who has the opportunity will come down and join us.
Peter Pan will be live for one night only at the Branscombe Auditorium of Florida Southern College on September 29th at 7 p.m. You do not want to miss this special event. To buy tickets and for more information on their respective seasons, visit floridadancetheater.org or imperialsymphony.org. Well, that's all I have for this month, but there's always plenty going on within the Polk County art scene. Stay tuned for a list of art events in your area. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time for more art out and about.